McNair gives it to George, running right up the middle. Touchdown! Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle!
Safety, now you're one-on-one with the...
Shows why he's the man! In trouble. Sack!
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Nation, welcome back to another episode of Mr. Titan. Today, I have a former Tennessee Titan tight end, Mr. Ben Troupe. How you doing today, sir?
Man, it's good to have me and good to be on with you, Mr. Titan, man. When I called a couple of episodes, I was like, look, I said, I don't know how long you had that title, but I'm pretty sure it's like I call myself Mr. Titan. No, but I got the show. You should have got the show. So if you see him at the stadium, don't take it personal.
Hey, man, nothing against it. I mean, you could be called Mr. Titan as well. Like I said, it's almost like a metaphor for everyone could be a Mr. Titan or Mrs. Titan. It's just a Titan fan, and that's the easiest way of coming up with a title. Everyone's like, "How'd you come up with that?" I'm like, I literally just said, I don't know, something with Titans, Mr. Titan, and I went with it. That's it.
Oh yeah, them titles are always the new thing now with with the podcasting world, media world is. I want something catchy, but I don't want it so catchy that people don't understand it. I'm a Titan fan, Mr. Titan. Let's rock with it. Let's do it.
Exactly, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit about football, a little bit about your story with the Titans and stuff. But first of all, you're probably not gonna like me very much right now. I'm just gonna say it because I know you're a Florida Gator fan, and I know you obviously went and you played for the Gators. Me, on the other hand, I represent Florida State, my friend.
Oh my God! See, and you know what's funny? Let me tell you. Check this out. I knew it's funny, right? I said as soon as you said you're gonna hate me, I said he's a Florida State fan. Like I already knew. Let me say this. Let me say this. All right, number one, I think it's a travesty what happened to Florida State. 13-0 is 13-0.
Yeah.
Still praying for George Travis, man. I think stuff like that, but the college football playoff committee. They're cowards, man, for this reason. You don't tell us why you don't put a team in. You don't have to tell us we know how you voted. You don't tell us why. You can't, no explanation. Come on, man. So I will say this. The team I grew up with, a team that I learned to just have a bad taste in my mouth was always the Georgia Bulldogs. Being a Georgia guy myself. Florida State, it was different for me because I'm not from Florida, but them guys from the state, oh God, they because a lot of them in high school there, playing with each other and all stuff and what grew up. So, but as soon as you said you're gonna hate him, I said, yeah, he's a Florida State.
It's different. Like I said, I know you were born and raised in Georgia. Living in Miami. I mean, I didn't go for UM. Eventually, when I went to Florida State in 2012, I mean, it's different. It's a custom where you have to not like the Gators. It's crazy. And I've been to Gainesville a bunch of times. I party. I love Gainesville. I can't with
of course. But to me, that's the healthy part of it. Like when you get to Florida State, they say, no. Don't let the city of Gainesville fool you. We don't like them boys from Florida. And the thing is, and it's a healthy dislike. It's not, people think that we despise each other. I know, man. It makes the rivalry better. It makes it pure. Because people be like, hey man, like listen, somebody be like, man, we're going to party in Gainesville this weekend. You're like, man, I got work on. But at the same time, Florida State is definitely good for the college football fabric. I say that all the time is, I know they got them guys down there, in Miami, which I mean, I don't know what's going on with my Gators right now, let alone, but Miami is one of those schools that, yes, they got 30 for 30s. That 2001 Hurricanes team might be the greatest team of all time. I was in college at the time, so I had to deal with that 2000. I had to play Miami 2000, 2001, and 2003.
Okay.
I knew how that went. When you talk about, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and
nasty.
Oh man, I mean, and then when you talk about sweetness, I can't even think of his name right now. Jared Payton, and I played with Jared with the Titans. Tight ends were Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow, Greg Olsen, Jimmy Graham. This is their tight ends back to back to back, and I'm like,
That's
bro,
wild.
Receivers were Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson. What are you gonna do with that?
That's nasty.
But at the same time, Florida State for me, Bobby Bowden, man, look,
100%.
My senior year, playing in Florida State at home at night. That's when Chris Ricks threw up a freaking prayer, the freaking PK Sam. He caught that thing, lights out. I got a chance to shake hands with Bobby Bowden. May he rest in paradise. And he said, "Look, you're a good player. I like to see you play." It's like those, Mickey Andrews, the great defensive coordinator Mickey Andrews, shook my hand after the game. So it's stuff like that I remember about, your Seminoles, man. Like I say, man, I was there but unfortunately, I was there for Willie Taggart's first game when he played Virginia Tech, and I was like, ooh, Willie. But Mike Norvell, he threatened to go to he wasn't going to Alabama. Listen, Florida State, he wasn't going to Alabama. He wasn't going to do it, but he used it to get him a new contract. I'm not mad at him. But shout out to them Noles, man. Y'all boys. I've been to Tallahassee. There's a lot going on in that city. You got over here, you got Florida State over here, you got FAMU over there. I said, bro, y'all gonna make up y'all mind.
If you go to a FAMU party, then you right in, because that's
what I'm saying. Oh yeah, Florida State guys date FAMU girls. That's how it goes. That way you don't got to worry about, right across the street. You go from the big gigantic brick mortar over here, and it's across the street. It's like right there. The colors kind of give it away.
100%, man. But like I said, we'll talk a little bit, obviously, about playing for the Gators and how that college experience transpired to your NFL career. How was it, obviously, playing for the Gators? I mean, again, amazing, right?
It was. It's humbling too, because my high school, I'm from Swainsboro, Georgia, but I graduated high school in Augusta, Georgia, home of the Masters. So when I'm getting recruited, we were the first of our kind. I went to school with Carlos Rogers, who was the 7th overall pick out of Auburn in 2005. I got drafted in 2004. So you got two, and my friend Isaac West, who was the all-time leading receiver at Furman. We all came out of 2000. So when it's not like now to where guys, they know how good they are. They got 20 schools offered them. I was so new and young to the process. It almost, being young and naive and not understanding it, helped me, because I didn't know how big it was.
Okay.
Back when Jim Donnan was the head coach of Georgia, Lou Holtz was the head coach at South Carolina. Tommy Bowden was the head coach at Clemson. All three of those guys was in my high school main office, front office, looking for me.
Wow.
So I'm 17. I graduated high school at 17. So you imagine, hey, yo, Troupe, man, you got these coaches I've been looking for. Yeah, look, I see him, man. I'm going home, bro. I'm tired. Ain't nobody told me about this. But Steve Spurrier, because you look at certain coaches now, man, they are the school. Harbaugh is Michigan. Yep, right. Kirby Smart is Georgia. If Norvell can keep it going, he'll never be what Bobby Bowden was Florida State. Yeah, so Spurrier was that dude, man. I mean, he was nationally recognized. This is how good he was. Nationally recognized, dominated the SEC, didn't throw the ball to the tight end, and I still win. He was throwing the ball to the receivers, but I wouldn't change it. People always say, if you can go back, because, man, I wanted to be a part of something. I ain't never been a part of something that huge. And I've been to the NFL, and that's a different world. But to walk in, to go to Gainesville, being a part of the #1 recruiting class in 2000, we had Brock Berlin. He was Mr. Football for the Nation out of New Orleans, Louisiana. We had the #1 defensive end in Darrell Lee. We had Willie Green, the #1 player in the state of Florida, and running back. We had
boys.
We had players, and then you had me. I get there, and a guy, Darrell Lee, we go to the infirmary. We got to get it like physicals, whatever. My family's there. We go to Walmart to get like some stuff up in the, a little refrigerator or something. And the guy, Darrell Lee, that I just saw, I pick up a random high school magazine, and that's him. He's in there, and I'm like, is that the dude I just saw? It was wild, man, because you don't know. So we go into a random little shop in Florida, little student shop, little shop, merchandise shop. lady. She got to be, I don't know, 70 years old as a cashier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ringing up my stuff. I'm 17. I ain't got no ID, ain't nothing like that. When she brings my stuff up, she goes, "Hey Ben, how you think we're gonna do this year?" This lady knew who I was. It was
the recruiting.
It's rock star type, a rock star type feeling, but I've never had that type of mentality. But it was crazy. To say it wasn't crazy,
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying because most people never know what it's like to be a part of the biggest brand in the state, right? So when you talk about Gainesville ain't Tallahassee. It ain't a major city. All it has is, and that's kind of how the SEC does. Tuscaloosa,
Okay.
Baton Rouge ain't New Orleans, but these ain't huge cities. How they do it, but man, it was. I enjoyed it because I had to grow up, man. Like I said, I got to college at 17, so people looking at my freaking birthday to you're not old enough to sign your stuff. I'm like, man, you better let me sign my stuff. Well, is your parents? It was the greatest part is when you get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put all the 2000 athletes get there, football, basketball. So they put you in this room and you got to stand up and you got to say, what your name is, what sport you play, where you from. So we walk around, LaShaun Troupe, so Augusta, Georgia, type. And it's like you seeing all these athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they do that to say, hey, dude, where we all gonna end up? Because everybody here thinking they're going pro or they're going to the Olympics or they're going to the US Open, whether it be golf but it was great, man. But it's overwhelming because you get there as a freshman, you do everything as a freshman for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Then a classman come back and you go out there on the field. The wrestler, Titus O'Neil, his real name is Thaddeus Bullard. He went to Florida when I was there. He's older than me.
I didn't know that. He's a big.
Titus O'Neil, real name is Thaddeus Bullard. We call him Thad. How he looks now, that's how he looked when he was like 20, 21 years old. So when we got there on the field, we like, who was this dude? Boxer briefs on, all ripped up. It's crazy. So I think that you have to get past how overwhelming it is because most people don't make it to college because of the pressure. Because it's not going to stop. Like Spurrier's last SEC championship was 2000. That was my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in college. My sophomore year was 9/11. So I'm in college at 9/11. Mm-hmm. My condolences go out to the people that lost people during 9/11. But I guarantee you this, Mr. Titan, if there is no 9/11, we might not win the national championship, but we're gone. That team, that good to show you what I mean. We went to the SEC championship game my freshman year, won it. We didn't go to the SEC championship game my sophomore year. We played Maryland, who won the ACC that year in the Orange Bowl. We beat Maryland so bad in the Orange Bowl that the MVP didn't play in the second half. That's how bad we beat them. The MVP of the game only played the first half, and he played receiver. But I mean, it was I would say this. I gained such a respect to the University of Florida for all the athletes that played there because, man, so many guys that never played. And I'm talking about incredible players. Mm-hmm. But it's only room for 11 on 11, man. And
unfortunately,
it took me 4 years to start. I was a backup. I was a third string tight in my my first year. I was kind of like a true backup my sophomore and junior year, and I got to start my senior year. So when people hear all the stuff that I was able to do, it was based on the fact it took me 3 years, man, to figure it out. I figured it out. And by the time I figured it out, I was 21 years old, and my quarterback was a true freshman quarterback by the name of Chris League. I don't know if you ever heard of him. That's who I had. So his true freshman year was my senior year. So think about it. I finally made it.
Wild.
I would be, and Chris League, who would go on to have an incredible, national champion, all this. He was 18 years old, and his first start in college was at LSU on the road. That's his first start. 18 years. And we beat them. LSU goes on. When Nick Saban, who won his first national championship at LSU, that was in 2004. The only game we lost was to us. That's it. So it's great memories.
That's nice to have it, and you're kind of
great. Listen, I met Michael Bulwell, and I met Greg Jones when I came out. No one on earth, bodybuilders don't look like Greg Jones. The way he looked I said, dude, do you have any body fat on you? He goes, I got like 2%. Are you serious? You know, it's the memories, though, man. It's the memories. It's the players. It's the coaches. It was great. It really. I look back on it and say to myself, how?
Yeah.
Like, how did I get here? But hey, man, mama, we made it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And that's something that's always good to have those memories and stuff like that. Because again, college goes by quick, especially if you're an athlete. Man, things happen so quickly over there, and the years go by really really quick. Talk about you know Florida Gators. When did Rand Carthon? Did you play with Rand? Right, he was running back at the time, right?
I was about to say yes. Rand got the Florida '99 red shirt, and me and Rand played 4 years together. We both came out in 2004.
How was he?
Rand was extremely fast. Like, you know how like Rand had them quick. He had them. I call them tiptoe feet. He moved his feet so fast. And once again, Rand got to start more our senior year because Rand red shirted. So he got in '99, got in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Rand was always Rand seemed like a guy that never ever had a bad day. Like Rand was always smiling and joking, but he could play. He could like. And the thing about Rand, I know he's the first black GM in Tennessee Titans history. What people don't know about Rand is, number one, his real name is Aringer. That's his real name, right? Number two, Rand Carthon's father was the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys when we got drafted. His dad was the OC at Dallas. So when you know how people say it's in your bloodline, it's in your blood. I would have never saw Rand been in the position that he was in because he started off as a scout and you're talking about director player personnel. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy for Rand because he did it the long way, but he did it the right way. He did not cut no corners. And it's like owning a restaurant, but you started out waiting tables. Then you became
bus boys.
So you started out as a bus boy. Then you became, a hostess. You talking about I know the host. So he knows the scouting department because he was in the scouting department. He knows the personnel department. So he respects. He's had his hand on everything. I mean, when they announced, I remember when I saw he got interviewed. I said, all right, come on, Ms. Adams, man. I know she's married now. Come on now. Let's make the right choice. And when it was announced, this is me, and I know we might get to it. I said, they just hired Rand. I don't know what that means for Vrabel. No matter what 2023 did, because usually it's the other way. Usually you hire the GM and he hires the coach.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say the Titans fans, stop thinking that Rand got rid of Vrabel. I guarantee you this was a huge mutual respect type conversation because Vrabel was a hell of a man. We're gonna miss Vrabel because some of 2,000-yard rushing. Playoffs. Listen, in the hunt for the playoffs every year, I don't know I just don't know what happened. This year, 2022 and 2023, I really don't know. It was like but to give, I mean, now it hurts that when you get rid of A.J. Brown, when you get rid of Kevin Byard, that hurts. Like, God, dog, and you send them both to Philly. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But it was some great highs under Frey. The lows are the lows. They are what they are. But when a rookie head coach and a rookie wins the division, so hey man, had to make that change.
Yeah, but Rand Carthon, it's awesome to kind of see how it's almost like full circle too. It's strange how things work out, right? As you guys both played, you guys both went to the same college. You played for the team now that he is the general manager of. That's got to be kind of like, that's wild.
It is. Marcus Robinson, who played for the Titans, he was a starting free safety when they went to the Super Bowl. He was by the time I got to the Titans, he was a player personnel guy. And I used to ask him, hey man, why you doing this part? He said, because I want to be in the front office, man. I want to be able to run a team one day. He always talked about wanting to be the GM. GMs run teams, right? GMs pick, you got the president and all these other things, but they pick the squad. Mm-hmm. They pick the squad, the head coach coaches the squad.
Yep.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, ain't no way. I'm like, you're not going to be a GM. Because that kind of stuff was so far-fetched to me because I'm like, man, as players, we know nothing about that part. We only know the coaches,
Yeah.
assistant coaches, trainers, people we see, touch,
Mm-hmm.
we around. But to me, Rand is Marcus Robinson's vision in real life. Marcus Robinson has gone on to be, he coached with the Titans under Coach Mungie. He was there coaching DBs, DB coaches, and different things. And now I think he with I want to say he with the Arizona Cardinals, somebody like that. But when Rand Carthon walks in that building, man, that says a lot. I'm not saying if Bud Adams was still living, he wouldn't have made the same decision, But it's like you are really showing a team that started off as the Oilers, who came to Tennessee with no stadium. People didn't know, y'all gonna call you. We just call ourselves the Titans. Why? Because we've been all over the place. I mean, Titans caravan that goes all through the state of Tennessee, southern, Kentucky. Listen, a person that used to love doing these things, Rand Carthon institutes a different way of thinking, a different way of evolving as an organization. Not saying that Rand know what the hell he's doing now. I'm not saying he know what he's doing, but it takes guts to do that. Because you know how it is. Now I didn't necessarily like that press conference when when Vrabel got fired and they kept asking him about the vision. Like, look, I'll tell you about the vision when we get the new coach.
Yeah.
Don't keep asking me about it. But I'm happy for Rand. I'm happy for his wife Heaven. I'm happy for his kids. I think what Rand does is he institutes culture change, because the hardest thing about sports that ain't talked about enough, the best culture in the NFL, I hate to say it to him, is Pittsburgh. It don't matter if they don't win it all every year. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
That's wild.
You see what I'm saying? And to me, they only had 3 head coaches in the history of the Steelers. They've only had the Titans. The Cleveland Browns have had 3 coaches in 3 years. So
you're right, though.
For me, the culture change is what they're willing to do. And I'm obviously I'm excited to see whoever come in there. I've heard some rumblings about Aaron Glenn. I hope and mind you, let me say this. Being a black man, yes, it feels great to see another black man in that position, but I don't want this to be a color-centric thing to say, hey, it's got to be a black man because a black. But if the black man is the best for the job, huh?
And then pick him.
Pick him because when people say D'Amico Ryan, I mean, he's doing a good job with the tech. Well, he got drafted by them, and he was a hell of a player for them. He was a great defensive coordinator with the 49ers. It's not like. You know what I'm saying?
It's like he didn't come out of the woodwork. The
D coordinator is not going to tell D'Amico Ryan, we're going to run this defense. What kind of defense is that? No, I know offense, defense, but I hope that whoever Rand picks jail, because the GM head coach relationship has to be similar to an old coordinator quarterback relationship. They need to be able. When I say jail, we need to be able to have healthy disagreements. We got to be healthy. But man, you know me, man. I'm two-tone blue no matter what. I mean, when people be like, "Oh, the Jags," man, I want to hear about them. Man, I want to hear about with that teal, them practice jerseys, game jerseys, looking. But look. Everybody knew that 2023 could have went a lot of ways. It did not go. Listen, but Rand showed his juice a little bit. Even though you get DeAndre Hopkins, man, we just go by. DeAndre could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. We still rooting for Traylon Burks. Yes, we still rooting for Chiggs, right? We probably seen the last of Derrick Henry, right? We're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna miss him, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, let's talk about some of your heyday with the Tennessee Titans. Again, round 2 in the 2004 draft, you get picked up by the Titans. At that moment, Jeff Fisher is your coach, right? You remember who the first touchdown pass was? Who threw it to you?
Shoot! It wasn't. Shoot!
I'm gonna let you know.
It was a backup QB. He ended up going right into the Chargers, man.
Billy Volek, baby.
Billy V. Hey, Billy V, man. It's been a long time. I love you, man. It was first touchdown pass. My rookie year, last game of the year, going into the whatever end zone, the then Oakland Raiders. Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember that play? Like, it's
I do. I mean, well, it was just
it was just nice.
I just know this. I had a flat route. Then I said, if he throw me this thing, I'm gonna just turn it up. And when I turned it up, I kind of like stuck it over the end zone. And it's one of the things to where they want to see I ain't fumbling through the end zone. And I get to the sideline, and Jeff Fisher said, "Man, it's about time." Like, man, you know what? Jeff Fisher, man, Jeff Fisher is a hell of a coach because he understood players, he understood our mindsets, our bodies, what we're dealing with. What people don't know about Jeff Fisher was on that 85 Bears team. Jeff Fisher was on that team. Like he played with Walter Payton and all them players, Mike Singletary and all that craziness. But yeah, man, old Billy V, man. Listen, Billy Volek to me was a pros pro. He really, really was. When he got traded, it was really, really messed up how it happened. But he never made waves. I learned so much from people like Billy V, man, who never made it about themselves. Selfless professionals. It's never talked about enough. Billy Volek is a selfless professional. I learned a lot from him because the way in which, he got traded was really, 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 really messed up. But he never made headlines. He said, you know what, Tennessee, we appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Went on to still play about 8-9 years, man. So, and listen, and those who don't know, backup quarterbacks in the league make, $5-6 million a year. So it ain't like they making chump change.
Yeah, I had him on the show, and it was good talking to him just to listen and have him chop it up and stuff. And he had some interesting things. I mean, he threw to a lot of wide receivers, and like you've played with a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
From Steve McNair, rest in peace. You went from Billy Volek to Vince Young.
Yes.
How was your connection with each quarterback as the years gone on? Like, how was like you and Steve's like relationship? What did he tell you? How did you guys get on, par with catching?
Steve McNair is always he was the hardest transition only because I was a rookie. Mm-hmm. And he Mac 9, man. He that dude. I mean, Alcorn State, third or fourth overall pick, co-MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like, went to the Super Bowl. Like, did it. Like, I think the thing was Steve McNair taught me how to like work. Because if you've ever seen Mac out there on the field, we used to call him Mac. This dude used to work hard. Like for real. Like he was about his business. And I want to say we was playing Seattle. Mm-hmm. And it was my second year. Mac will say the same exact thing every single time we go play. So he said, let's go out here and play with this brown ball. He would say it every time. But I will say this. I play with a lot of football players, man. I play with a lot of them. I play with some great ones, man. The greatest football player I've ever shared the field with is Mac 9. He was different, man. He was different. And I went over like 100 yards that game. We made this play up. It was me and Aaron Kenny. We made this play up to where we both act like we running over routes. Mm-hmm. At the last minute, I bent it to the corner. Now, the first time we did it, I did it too fast. Now, coordinator going crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what Max said? Troupe is fine. No. He said 8-4. He said 8-4. That's fine. He'll say, this time, just be a little more patient. Let me tell you something. To be acknowledged by Steve McNair, I'm good. I don't care what happens in my career because he's him. Like he is him. So as rookie, Troy Fleming, I told you about Jared Payton, Walter Payton's son. We rookies. So we getting reps, but we ain't getting in with the number one guys. So they throw us in with the starters. Mac back there getting the play, right? So how we do is the tight end be in the middle, and then you got the running backs and kind of the receivers, and you got the O-line behind you. So Mac gets the play, and he turns, and we're face to face. Like I'm taller than Mac, but I'm like, look at me. So he's doing this. What is he doing? He's doing this. I'm like, what is he doing? He go, put your head. I gotta stick my head down so he can tell the freaking play. And it's funny. He realized I don't know what he's saying. He like, well, put your head, and he gotta laugh, right? But at the same time, let me tell people this, man, that they don't know about Steve McNair. Remember when I talked about selfless superstar? Mac is a super duper star.
Mm-hmm.
Never acted like that. Like I'm talking, he drove a Dodge Ram. I know he used to do this. He used to drink moonshine in his car. He ain't drinking in the facility. Everyday guy. But listen. But when he put that 9 on his chest, you can't touch him. He's the most well-respected football player I've ever been involved. Everybody respect him. Ray Lewis, Troy Pop, any defensive player. Now, Vince Young, athletic as all. I'm talking about super duper athletic. You look at what the quarterback position is now with the RPO run pass option. VY was that dude, man. I enjoy playing with VY because I think not just me and him, but sometimes players need other players to just show them it's all right. Like it's because that's a lot of hype. I mean, listen, the same year, let's see, Vince Young got drafted in 2006. Mm-hmm. That was Steve McNair's first year in Baltimore. So VY, who was mentored, because
they were
Steve McNair, he got drafted by Houston. Well, freaking Vince Young is from Houston. So he used to mentor Vince. Okay. We had a celebrity baseball game, and this is Max like last time in Nashville, and he out there, and VY came and like relieved him, and they like hugged each other. I mean, it was great. Listen, and Vince Young know this. Vince Young's first touchdown pass as a starter was to me against the Dallas Cowboys. So, I'm a part of me and VY. I got his first touchdown pass as a starter, rookie of the year. But no, it was great playing with all of them, man. It really was, because rapport is everything. And no matter how talented you are, you got to build that rapport. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with Mac. Man, it was hard to see what happened to him. It shook not just the Titans community, it shook the NFL community. But it was just fun because I just seen Vince Young do what he do in the Rose Bowl. I said, this dude, he is crazy. Then we drafted him. They said, okay, Mario Williams, number 1 overall pick, NC State, Houston. We got Reggie Bush, number 2 overall pick to New Orleans Saints. We like, they gonna play with us. Number 3 overall pick, we like Vince Young, quarterback. I said, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, it was great. It was really, really great playing with all of them.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we went down. I mean, you had from Eddie George as well to Chris Johnson. I mean, that's wild right there. Just to be, like I said, Eddie George is my favorite football player of all time. Again, running back's my favorite position, and just that's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Oh man, hey man, it's the National Football League is very, very humbling because people people you grew up watching or idolizing, there they go in front of you. I mean, Eddie George last year was my rookie year. He didn't, I said, that go freaking Eddie, that's Eddie George right there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just surreal, man. It really, really is, because the Nashville community it's a big city, but it's like a small town feel.
It really is.
Everywhere I went, from the time I was with the Titans until I left, they were like, hey, Ben, where's Eddie George at? Where's Steve McNair? I said, well, they're gone. They're not coming back. Really? Yeah, unless you just see them out or you live in their neighborhood, which means you have a lot of money if you live in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But they was cool cats, man. I mean, I would have loved to have played with Eddie George. Run, Eddie. Hey, what? Ohio State High? And you walk into the locker room and they go Eddie George, and you got to act like it's normal.
Yeah, like, hey, what's up, bro?
It's not. Hey, first time I met Steve McNair as a rookie, Aaron Kinney took me over to his football camp. It's the first time I ever met him. So I get there as a rookie, Eddie, Aaron Kinney saying, man, I'm here. I'm coming to pick you up tomorrow. We're going to go to Steve McNair football camp. That's the conversation. All right, click. So he come pick me up. We go over there. EK's in there with his wife Julie. They had their kids. They're like little small babies at the time. And I get out the car, and they go Steve McNair. Kids. I mean, it is kids. It's probably thousands of kids everywhere. And I'm just sitting there. And listen, And Kenny EK, he go up to Mac. Mac hugged Julie, EK wife. He what's up, EK? You know, he looks at me and goes, listen, he says, Rook, over there. He pointed at a bunch of kids. I just ran over there. Like, I'm not gonna say I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mac was special, man. I know we use that word a lot. I ain't never seen a player that respected. You know, I mean so it's just sad, man, that a player of if his name ever comes up for the Hall of Fame, man, they need to do the right thing. Mac was
100%.
And Mac won a freaking MVP. What? Co-MVP? Come on, man. Give it a freaking.
That's unheard of. Yeah, that's wild.
Norm Chow, who came from USC, when he became the OC, he didn't understand the NFL. Coming from USC, all this success, Reggie Bush, Lindell White, Matt Leinart, so on and so forth. So he calls the play. And Mac, like, doing something with his helmet, like his chin strap. He like, call the play, like, hurry up, Mac. So he yells, Mac, hurry up and call the play. Mac looks at Norm Chow, cussing him out. Who you think you're talking to? Because he didn't realize, hey, bro, this is a grown man. I know you the OC. He respect you. That's Mac. That's Steve McNair. Like,
yeah.
Mind you, Jeff Fisher didn't say a word. Jeff Fisher was like, so Keith Bullock tells Norm Chow, hey, boy, this ain't USC. That ain't Stanford over there. That's Mac 9. That ain't Matt Leinart. I'm telling you, and for those who don't know, it actually came down to Matt Leinart and Vince Young in 2006 because Norm Chow, Matt Leinart, and be quite honest, Jeff Fisher might have wanted Matt Leinart too because he went to USC.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Adams wanted Vince. So that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Send it in.
The rest is history after that.
Yeah.
I had a question to ask you because your nickname for the Tennessee Titans was Troupe. What was it? Troupe, Scoop.
It was Troupe, Scoop, or Troupe, Skadoop. One of them. It was one of them.
I think it was Troupe, Skadoop. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it was either Keith Bullock or Drew Bennett. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it for this reason. And whenever, most guys grow up with nicknames, their family gave it to them, and they expect the world to acknowledge them by that. Pac-Man Jones, stuff like that. Well, with me, I mean, it just stuck, and it's about camaraderie with your teammates. Anything that, causes us to come together. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was, like I said, and it just happens. Like, it's funny. It's not like you have a meeting. Somebody say, this is what we're going to call them. Somebody says it. Somebody else says it. And then just catch on. Yeah, that's it. I mean, and the thing is, when the fans catch on to it or they say something, it's all in this, man. It's all in jest. I appreciate it because, like I say, there are a lot of things. There's something. Because Vince Young used to call everybody catfish. I said I did not want that to be my idol. He'll call you a catfish.
What was the reason behind the cat?
It probably just rhymed. It probably just something that just happened naturally. And the funny thing was, it just kind of just happened. Like it's like when people start calling me that at first, it's like, but then you just start answering to it. And like I said, man, I ain't getting nothing like a Megatron, which I mean I was nowhere near as good as Calvin Johnson or. I didn't get no sweetness like, Jared Payton, daddy, Walter Payton, or the bus. I got Troupe, Skadoop. Cool. I mean, they used to call, in college, they would call me the Leaping Lizard, in Florida. You know what I'm saying? And so it's to get a nickname means you have that's for the fans too. Yeah, the fans. So look, I would say this, man. There isn't a more beloved fan. I mean, obviously I love, going to Florida, I'm always going to be orange and blue, to the end. But the two-tone blue nation, love those people, man. Those fans don't get – everybody want to talk about the Bills Mafia or the Dallas Cowboy Colt Mafia. Good God. But Tennessee, they love their Titans, man. It's rough on them, but we loyal too, man. We don't do that, move to Dallas, let somebody talk us into becoming a Dallas Cowboy fan. Nobody – But the AFC South, they don't have a Peyton Manning anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So that whole division, Indy, Houston, Jacksonville, it's not a glamour, it's not a media darling type division.
Yeah,
you got the long hair down, Mr. Long Hair Don't Care, Trevor Lawrence down there, and you got the young stud and CJ Stroud, and obviously, I'm biased against Anthony Richardson coming from Florida. I hope he gets healthy. And then, I mean, Will Levis or whomever going to be the quarterback with the Titans. But no, man, Troops can do it, man. It's always
Troops.
I always get asked. But if I had to guess, I would say Drew Bennett probably started because he was on the offensive side with me.
Okay.
And I think a guy like, Keith Bullock solidified it. Who gonna tell Keith Bullock?
Yeah, you ain't gonna tell Keith anything.
They ain't gonna tell Keith nothing. But what you say, Keith? I ain't mean to make you mad. I apologize.
Which is good because I had Drew on as well, and again, hearing his stories and sharing about Steve McNair is another thing that's kind of been really, really cool, and just to listen to you guys talk about the old days, the glory days, and stuff like that. Now talking about teammates and stuff, is there anyone that you still keep in contact with teammates wise or no?
Man, I wish I could keep up with them boys. We up, man. Like we saying now, man. We all married or getting married, got kids, paying bills, taxes, whatever. But I will. But the ones, Troy Fleming, fullback, that's the home. Obviously, Aaron Kenny, I wouldn't have even an inkling of a career without him. Me and Bo Skate go back and forth sometimes on social media. Shout out to Skis. I'm happy for guys like Pac-Man Jones and what he's doing. And Vince Young will because the Texas coming over to the SEC, so I might be having more interactions with him coming up. But man, I just be happy for those guys because when I look back on it and you see how many players it was, Keith Bullock, I know he does like radio stuff in Nashville. I was able to go on the Jay Martin and Ramon show. He was like filling in, so got to holler at Keith. And it's funny. I got to tell Keith how great of a teammate he was because Keith Bullock didn't get the recognition he deserved because of the outside linebacker, because he played the weak side. So a lot of weak side linebackers play the outside linebacker position. Now they like a Von Miller, if he didn't play outside, he played weak off the ball. But because he got 100 and something sacks, they go crazy. I have no doubt in my if Keith Bullock played outside linebacker, he would have 100 and something. It ain't no doubt. I saw Keith Bullock my freshman year come off the edge. He blew up the tight end. He blew up the fullback. He sacked the quarterback. He stripped the quarterback. He picked the fumble up and he ran in the score. And I saw that in one play. And I saw Keith Bullock on Monday night, Mr. Monday night, against Drew Brees, pick him off not one, not two, but 3 times. And the third time he picked him off, he kneeled on the ground, jumped up, and threw Drew Brees the ball back. He threw him back the ball. Keith Bullock, great players came through. Great defensive players came through the Titans, man. They ain't better than Keith, man. Listen to me. Listen. The freak, Javon Curse, was first round pick. Hellraiser, right? Keith Bullock. Cortland Finnegan, playing with Cortland. You know what I'm saying? The red-haired crazy man, right? There was only one Keith Bullock, man. This dude was we ran this play one time in practice, and we said we gonna fool all 10 guys. We gonna fool 11 guys. And in my mind, I'm like, you ain't gonna fool Keith. 5-3, you ain't fooling. All 10 guys, Keith Bullock made the play by himself. And one time they tried to run this play. They tried to throw the ball to his side. He picked it off with one hand. He picked it off with one hand and he threw it back to the quarterback. And like, don't try that over here, bro. We don't. Keith was something serious, man. Syracuse, man. Like Fred Warner of the San Francisco 49ers reminds me a lot of Keith Bullock. How he plays, he's everywhere. That's KB. Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing about with KB was that I've had several players, offense, defensive players, and they said the first person that kind of stepped up or would be that the leader would be Keith Bullock. They're like, yeah, I remember Bo Scaife when I had him on said the same thing. It's Keith Bullock, 100%.
Okay, B. If anybody got anything negative to say about KB, it's because one, they don't like football players, or two, he probably just played over them.
Yeah.
KB played a decade, man. He was. I knew I was getting better as a football player when Keith Bullock told me I would. Man, you get better, man, because he do it. Like he was, man. Listen, KB had a celebrity weekend one time. He had Dwight Freeney was there. What's his name? Donovan McNabb was there. And we got to act like these people are just normal,
Yeah,
I was never think Donovan, but Syracuse players, man, Donovan McNabb, Keith Bullock, freaking Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison went to Syracuse. He's a great player. So no, man, Keith was a hell of a teammate, man. He really Keith was really, really passionate, but he never called people out. He ain't say you need it. Now he'll tell you, hey man, come on, we got to pick it up. But he led by example, man. And to me, it's hard. I remember after my second year, we have like our final meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him saying this. He says, every day in football is an audition, man. Every day we do this is an audition. You only make it to the show, man, when you meet, you know what I'm saying? You got to get your lines right. And he always had his lines. He was good.
Mm-hmm.
But he also yells out, man, I ain't no loser, man. I ain't with this losing stuff. Because my first year we went 4-12. My second year we went 5-11. So we won 9 games in 2 years. And the average age on the team at the time was like 22, 23. We was really, really young.
Mm-hmm.
But Keith just stayed the course, man. Just kept playing. And you appreciate that. Kevin Mawai, great player, Hall of Fame player.
Yep.
Hall of Famer. So, I mean, I was blessed, man. Derek Mason and Antoine Smith, Chris Brown, Drew Bennett. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Carter. Albert Hainsworth. We had Samari Rowe. Bro, we had Lindell White, Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, it was a group.
A guy who I wish wouldn't have gotten hurt. Tyrone Calico is athletic. And I will say this, when you play in a place like Nashville, it's a big city, but it ain't a huge market. You can just be yourself, man. I don't even want to know what it's like if you play for teams like the Jets and the Giants. Or
imagine that.
Because you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like the media with Nashville. I said, look, man, we the only team we the only pro team in the state. You know what I'm saying? We got Knoxville over here. We got Memphis way over there, and we right here in the center. I loved it, man. From Clarksville, you know what I'm saying? Down there with MTSU, and it was great, man. It was great because I'm a country boy, so I'm from Georgia. Mm-hmm. Went to college in Florida. Got drafted by Tennessee, so I never had to leave the South. The only thing used to mess me up was when I first went to Atlanta, I had to fly to Nashville. The flight said you leave at 1 and you get there at 1. I'm like, what the hell kind of flight is this? Because I didn't know it was on Central. I'm like, what? So, but listen, man, I could have. I wish I would have played. I could have easily played 10 years in the NFL. I mean, I decided to walk away after my 5th year, but I never wanted to leave Nashville. It is one of the greatest cities. And being in the media now, I got to work the draft. 2019, I got to go up there and work the draft.
Nice.
And I said, good God, all these people. But I was so happy for Nashville because they deserve it, man. They deserve it. And I know they're finna get this new stadium. I know they're trying to bid for a Super Bowl. Oh my God, the Super Bowl in Nashville.
That'll be wild.
Listen, when they get the bid, I don't know. Listen, I don't want to pay for one of them tickets, but I will definitely be there because it's gonna be like a celebration for a city that definitely deserves it. So
100%, man. Before we finish talking about Tennessee Titans stuff, what was your favorite memory as a Tennessee Titan?
Favorite memory as a Titan? Man, there was some memories, boy. My favorite memory as a Titan. Man, I know Rob Sabonis hit that 60-yard. He kicked a 60-yard field goal, man. I said, what? No. That's up there. My favorite memory with the Titans is we go to Lambeau Field on Monday night and we beat the brakes off of Green Bay. I'm talking about to the point where the thing about Green Bay Packers fans, they loyal too. They don't usually leave. Like if you've ever seen the movie Invincible, you know, when Mark Wahlberg, he's playing Vincent Pollock, see how they make you sit down. We were beating them so bad. Their fourth quarter, they gone. They out of there. And look, and nothing against the state of Wisconsin, but there's nothing in Green Bay. Like outside of Green Bay, there's nothing in but the Packers. But yeah, man. And Brett Favre was, you know, he was still the starting quarterback at the time. So he comes out in pregame, right? He comes out pregame, and people are losing it. Now, mind you, once again, you got to get past the starstruck stuff because what people don't know is Brett Favre originally got drafted by the freaking Falcons, got traded to Green Bay. Anyway, So when he runs out, I go, God dang, they go number 4. That go Brett Favre, right? That's Brett Favre. I'm over here fanboying it. I'm like, oh shoot, that's Brett Favre. So, and I don't realize how close I'm not, face to face, but I'm really close to him. So I'm like staring. I'm like in awe staring at him. Man, that's a gunslinger right there. He gets ready to take a snap, like he's just going through warm ups. He looks at me, like winks, and like I said, "Oh shoot!" I'm like having like a man crush on freaking Brett Favre at the time, like craziness. But man, you know, it's too many memories to name, man. But I will say my 4th year with the Titans in 2007 when we won against Indy to go to the playoffs, and I got a chance to play in the playoffs in 2008. Mm-hmm. I mean 2000. Well, it's 2007 season, but it was and I got to go out there and play against the Chargers. To see that many celebrities on the freaking side, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and probably with Tom Cruise. It was crazy. It lets you realize how different the playoffs are. They saying I'm doing media. It's so many people at my locker. I'm like, I'm talking. Listen, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to radio in China. It's crazy. It was like,
wow.
You get done, and I'm thinking they had the wrong locker. I'm like, and they're like, hey, Ben, and hey, man, I was just like, and we ran this play, and VY know I can say this. We ran all goals. Mm-hmm. It's in the playoffs. We get to the sideline, right? Norm Child says, VY, who's your first read? He says, 8-4 my first read, Troupe my first read. He said, why didn't you throw it to him? He said, cuz, man, I thought my defender fell down. I did like a little move inside and he fell. Now, listen to me. I'm not saying I score, but you know how like somebody chased you for back in the day and you like bend your back a little bit? Like, I would have zigzagged. Now, listen, I would have got 60 now. Mind you, we on the 20. I would have got by 60 yards. And I remember you go back to, it's one of my proudest moments. Every time I played in the last game of the season, no matter what season, whether it's my first year, second year, fourth year, we talk about last game, I always led the team in catches and yards. I think my rookie year I did it, my sophomore year, my second year I did it. In the playoffs, I think I had like 3 catches, like 50-something yards, right? I had the most catches and yards. Because, it's the playoffs. Vince Young, first playoffs game, we lost. I mean, Phillip Rivers, Sean Merriman, LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates. We're not going to beat them. Yeah. We could have beat them. But to end my career with the Titans in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Because I know players never play in the playoffs or Monday night. Their whole career. Yeah. So, hey, man, but to play in the playoffs, I got hit so hard by Antonio Cromartie. He hit me so hard that this top lip right here, it was like this. It was my lip was looking deformed. Oh, wow. We just lost, and I got to fly that far. I got to get on the plane like this. And imagine this, right? We just lost. The season's over. We disappointed, but we professionals. Uh-huh. Dang, Troupe, man, what's wrong? God, what? And it's one of those things, like, it looked like the ice was making it bigger. Because, I got the ice on my face. And somebody said, let me see. And you know how guys, they go, oh, my God, put it back on you. Oh, my God, well, you look like, and mind you, you know how like you on a flight and people take their shoes off. Because, a lot of times your fingers, they might, because of the altitude. It didn't help, man. I'm on here like, lip is getting big. And, and it had like little blood coming. It was bad, man. It was one of the things the trainers couldn't really do anything.
Just gotta let it heal by itself, man. Just let it go.
I wanted to be like Ricky Williams back and they just wear a helmet. Just don't even. But too many great memories, man. When you talk about the Titans, but my fondest memory of the Titans is always going to be going upstairs talking to Floyd Reese may he rest in peace. Just going upstairs talking to him and Tina Tuggle and having a conversation with like Al Smith, and Marcus Robinson, just talking to guys. But yeah, man, we did. I went to the playoffs, man. People like, you ever played the playoffs? Yeah. Did you win? No, did not win. But got to go.
Hey, but like I said, not a lot of players can say
Thanks.
that too. So,
Thanks.
but let's talk a little bit after your career in football. You were very very busy. You just wrote a book too long ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did
And
I wrote
Jonathan Ask.
True Vine Publishing in Nashville, Tennessee, Timothy Bond. I wrote my children's book, Judy and John, with my friend Miko. And then my partner BJ Bennett, who I do radio with, we wrote Uncommon and Unfinished, the being true story with BJ Bennett. It's a different level of humbleness because when I was in Nashville, Miko was a dear friend of mine. We always talked about doing something. We didn't know what that something was. So when she approached me about a children's book, she had already wrote her part because she's the Judy character, I'm the John character. So
Okay.
I did it, and she told me she got an illustrator. I got to act like I know what this stuff means. I didn't know what an illustrator was at the time, but then when you see your book come out, it's crazy. So you fast forward to 2021, September 2021, we coming through a global pandemic. So everybody got a little more time in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
So me and BJ were like, if we ever gonna do this book, we need to do it. So you talking about chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. I'm in Tampa. The book comes out. I get it like a random package at the door. I don't know. I open this thing up and there goes my freaking book. And I'm like, are you serious? So that's the first wow. I'm in Tampa and I'm visiting my daughter. And she, we in the hotel, she sleep. I can't go to sleep. So I just go to my computer. I just type in Uncommon Unfinished. Boom. And then it happened. Target, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. And I'm like, what? Mind you, people think because you're a quote celebrity, which I never consider myself that we don't get wild about stuff. I'm like, what? Are you serious? And Google Books and what I appreciate the most about my book is I get to tell so many stories through mine. My dad's, my mom's, my sister, my brothers. And that's what do. I have other books that I want to do? Yes, absolutely. And when I say True Vine Publishing in Nashville, Tennessee, the reason why I'm giving Timothy Bond a lot of credit, when you're trying to write a book, you're trying to do it based on what you think. Well, I want to be on Amazon. I want to, what I'm saying? He gave me the whole game. He said, Ben, I'm going to tell you this. What I taught to a lot of people who have books, and being in the book environment or the book space is different because you hear a former athlete's book and you think it's all about him.
Yeah.
And Ben Hartstock, who played with me 2 years with the Titans, Ben Hartstock, the two Ben. Ben Hartstock played for that 2002 Ohio State team that beat that 2002 Miami Hurricane. He was a starting tight end, right? I put people in my book who did. When I called Ben Hart, on my radio show, I said, Ben Hart, I want you to come on the show, man. I've got my book. I want to talk to you about it. He said, you put me in your book? I'm like, yeah. Me? Like, yeah. And he said, Troupe, I really appreciate that. He said, because and B. Hart played 10 years in the league. He said, Troupe, I never ever thought I made any type of impact when I was in the league. I said, well, you made an impact on me. Because, there are certain people, man, that you need in your life to help you understand what you are and how you are. And that, when you go from a starter, I was dealing with injuries and I wasn't really playing as much, you start getting very egocentric, very, very me. Mm-hmm. Well, Ben Hartstock, who also got drafted in the 2004 draft, he went to Indy. Mm-hmm. Now, Ben Hartstock was behind Dallas Clark. He's not going to play.
Yeah.
It's the no gloves Dallas Clark, number 44. He's the first Iowa tight end. I know you got TJ Hockenson and Noah Fant and, obviously George Kittle. He was the first, right? When Ben Hartstock, I got hurt, Ben Hartstock came over to the squad, you could tell that it was awkward between us because we both play tight end, but we're a totally different type of tight end. We started having conversations, man. Started talking about life, spend a lot of time around each other. He helped me understand what my role was. Man, I'm supposed to be a great teammate. I don't control playing time. I don't control how many plays I make or whatever. And I got away from that, man, all that jealousy and bitterness and just something that got nothing to do with sport. Mm-hmm. And I owe that to him. I really, really do. I mean, I was on the same. So my book, how do you say thank you to so many freaking people? That's the hard part. Mm-hmm. But it's my book, man. Like I said, I got other books that I want to, do, and I already got a publishing company. If you listen, Alex, you ever want to write a book, man, go to True Vine. I'm gonna tell you why. The thing about Timothy Bond, and thank God I don't have a lot of experience in this. Mm-hmm. I would think that when you got publishing companies, they job, a lot of them, they take your book and they make it their own. They'll do what they want to.
Yep.
Tim don't do that. Tim say, what you want to do? How you want to do it? I got you. And when you call, he picks up. Hello? You can text him. The owner of TrueVine, you can text him.
Wow.
You know, so when people ask me, man, how you do it? I said, look, man, I can't speak for nobody else, man. This is how I did mine. And you know, I'm living in Brunswick at the time. That's coastal Georgia. I'm right there beside St. Simon Island. St. Simon Island, they got houses over there, $20-30 million. It's big money.
St. Simon's nice. I know.
Yeah, so when we going into these publishing stores telling them I got a book coming out, they ain't really showing no love. Because, I'm not a New York Times bestselling author. I don't take it personal. Now, BJ, the co-author, he getting pissed. I said, well, don't get mad. So when we came back around and the book came out and they type it in, they was like, they looking like, how did you? I said, man, I told you, man. I've been the exception to the rule my whole life, whether that's going to college, going to the pros, being a part of the rookie premium, being a top 40 draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Walking away on my own terms, all these things. I don't know how to think right. I understand that I'm everyday, so the whole notion of my book is ordinary people living extraordinary lives. That's me. I'm ordinary. I mean, when I first get drafted and I go to the Titan shop, I'm looking for my 86 because I was 86 my rookie year. Mm-hmm. It's gone. I walk in, I look for it. Walk in, look for it. So after about the fourth time, the lady behind the counter says, Ben, your jersey sold out. This my rookie year. My second year, I go to 84. Because I wore 84 in high school, college, and pro. I'm looking for it again. She says, listen, as soon as your jersey came in here, it was gone. So just imagine driving down the street, you see two kids, one got an 86 Troupe on, one got an 84 on. That's I don't lose sight of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know I was a player for the people, man. I love the city of Nashville. So yeah, man, my book was a chance to say thank you. And like I say, if God blessed me to be able to write other books, I know the process now. Plus, I got a ghostwriter. Ghostwriter is my best friend, so he knows. Ghostwriter, listen, you want to write a book? Find you somebody that's willing to write it for you for the cheap, because ghostwriters cost they cost a lot of money.
Pretty penny, yeah.
But no, man, we out here just to be an author, man. My kids, they don't read the book. They just want to know. They had to tell me what page I'm on. So I'm not reading so
Well, that's awesome. That's a really neat and cool accomplishment to actually know that you have a book out there. Now, that would wig me out just to go into a store and see it like there's
it's matter of fact, like I say, when I got to get your address, man, I'll send you a copy, man.
Hell yeah,
I got you.
Of course. Well, I'm gonna start to wrap things up because, man, I know you're a busy man. I don't want to keep you all day. I can talk all day, man. I mean, that's this and I know this. I mean, that's what part of media, right? You gotta.
Thanks.
But I want to say, first of all, I appreciate you coming on and spending some time. Time is something that's really valuable to me, and I understand it's valuable to you. So I appreciate you coming on. Talking some stories and hanging out. I appreciate everything you did on the football field. Like I said, you're a two-tone forever. Titans, us fans, we know it, and we appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears you left on the field, man. Again, still a fan favorite, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. It's been an honor to have you on.
No, Alex, man, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I think sometimes as former players, we don't ever get to say thank you to y'all. Y'all validate us. There is no us without y'all. And I understood when it comes to sports, man, you're only gonna get three things. When it comes to your teammates or your competitors, man, you're gonna get respect. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your coach, you're gonna hopefully get trust. That's the only way you play. And when it comes to the fans, man, it's appreciation. And in that order. I never ever look past it. As my pops would say, man, you live long enough, man, for your signature to become an autograph. You don't take that for granted. I don't. There aren't better fans than me in Nashville, man. Once I realized that after the games, win or lose, especially at home, man, you can sign, no lie, you can sign 5,000 autographs. And I used to start signing them to the point where the little guy, the guy that works for the Titans, hey, Ben got to go. No, it's cool. Because most of those people, man, they ain't going to have the opportunity that I have. Especially you from Nashville or Clarksville or you know what I'm saying, the surrounding areas, you grew up a Titans fan, whether you wanted to or not. That's what we did on Sunday from those areas. So this is the least I can do, man. You know, when you reach out to me, because like I said, you know how many players never get interviewed, never get asked to do, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, I said, look, man, you got to be approachable and stop making yourself out to be more. The funniest back when they had Kmart, I lived down the road not too far from Kmart, and I used to go there all the time because it was cheap and get the stuff I need. And people looking at me in the line, they're looking at me in the line like, you know what I'm saying? And finally, I'll be like, hey, ain't no Uber back then, ain't no Uber Eats, ain't no DoorDash, ain't no none of that, right? So I used to be like, look, man, you know, I'll go, you know, on an off day, I'll go to Shoney's breakfast, man. I'll tear that freaking all you can do. But the thing was, I used to always go to Jefferson Street. It was a brother and sister who used to work at Athlete's Foot. And I wish I could remember their names. I used to go in there so much and just chop it up with them. It humanized me again. Because, you know, when you got a billboard of yourself, you on the side of the stadium with people wearing your jersey, the perception of you could be what people think of you. Yeah. And I really can't control either or. But on Thursdays, man, after we do our weigh-ins, man, you know, we trying to go to sweats, man. As you might see me, Jared Payne, and Troy Fleming, our rookie year, we up in there getting them beef tips and them smothered pork chops. I mean, we got orders to get. Yeah. And I cared about one order and one order only. Yo, Matt, what you want? If Steve McNair would have said, I want 2 filet mignons and a lobster tail with caviar, I'm going to get it for him. Right? I'm gonna get it. But yeah, man, this is the part of my life that nobody told me, and it's the funnest part. To be on this side when you've been an athlete your whole life and that's been your identity. People say, well, what happens when your identity changes? And I was told your real life begins. They always say, man, the top of one mountain is the bottom of another one. So I just keep climbing, have fun, and I get to be myself. So wherever you see me at, whether it's on Mr. Titan, whether you're on 84 Reasons, my podcast, because 84 Reasons it's on the NIL platform at the University of Florida. I get to talk to current, former, and future Florida Gators. My podcast, when it comes out, it's going to be called Only One Dash, which means only one life. And with so many experiences that I have, man, you know, I'm a country boy, man. Sweet tea and shade trees for life, man. I'm simple. Don't think much for me. I want to be able to give people my platform to be able to talk life. So shout out to people like yourself, Alex, man. Listen, it's more people watching you than you know. Because, number one, your show is called Mr. Titan. That just sounds, listen, one of y'all networks, stop playing. Pick this man's show up. Because it used to be, before you get in the media, it seems so hard to do it because we didn't go to journalism school. Yeah. But when you get into it, you be like, it's not that you don't respect them, but you go, I know what to ask. I know what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? I watch the games. I don't got to know every single defense to understand cover 2, cover 1, cover 3. I know what you shouldn't run on third down. I know you shouldn't have ran that. You know, so it's be entertaining, be engaging, you know, be consistent. That's media. Yeah. Entertaining, engaging, and consistency. That's all that other stuff is. Hey, Ben, man, you said a word that wasn't a word. Well, you're listening too hard. I make up words all the time. But I've been in this media business for a little while now. I've been to SEC and ACC media days. I've gotten to interview, you know, I'll interview Kirby Smart and Nick Saban when he was there. You know, shout out to the coach, man. When they was in there, I'm interviewing Dabo. And I learned how to be myself while also being, that's it. Be yourself and be professional. But listen, you sit down in front of me, man. I hope you remember something I said. I hope you can take something I said, man, and utilize it for yourself. But other than that, man, I do not take my words seriously like that. I do not take myself serious. So when people are like, Ben, you said that you think the Titans got a shot to beat the Jaguars. And when I did it, I said I think the Titans got chance to beat the Jaguars because I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that good. I think he's good. I think y'all put him in the great category because he has great moments. That's not a great season. Yeah. Great moments don't mean a great player. Everybody has greatness in them. Derrick Henry is great. Yeah. If he does not, I say, but the same Trevor Lawrence that won the playoff only won it last year because he did it against the Chargers. You throw that many picks in the first half and still win, that means that the Chargers are real bad, not that you're real good. I'm just saying, so that's how I be doing stuff. So that's fine. Listen, keep doing what you're doing, man. Listen, eat the Dallas food. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid in Dallas. Y'all Dallas fans, y'all need prayer, man. There's something wrong. God, dog. There's something wrong with y'all. But Dak, you make too much money to care. You make way too Dakota. I know that's your real name. But no, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. I admire what you do. I admire the fact that you're doing. I like the consistency of how you're doing it. And like I say, man, listen. You got me on the DMs, man. Make sure and text me your. Like I said, I mean to text me your address, man. I'm gonna get the books out to you. I would tell you this: the biggest advice I would tell you is don't always be willing to change. Be the best daddy and husband you can be, because at the end, that's all that's gonna matter anyway.
Absolutely.
Them two boys, your two sons, and make them listen. Don't love what's outside the house more than you love what's inside. That's what my daddy tell me. Love inside more than you love outside. That way outside can't get to you. They gonna be like, you the Mr. Tiger dude. You gonna be like, hell yeah, y'all. We two-tone blue. Y'all America's blue. Y'all are not America's team, because America's in trouble. If y'all out there, we are in trouble.
Hey, that's facts. I like that. I like that. Love the inside more than you love the outside. I like that.
Absolutely. Your first ministry or whatever you do in life, it won't be bigger than what you do in the crib. They're the ones that really know you. They're the ones that really love you. Everybody else, they might tolerate you. They might celebrate you. Them two in there that came from you, and the one that said I do, that's it. Everything else is a bonus.
That's right there. That's spitting knowledge right there. I like it. I like it a lot, man. Hey, man, I want to say God bless and thank you so much. All right, man.
God bless. Be good, Alex.
I know, brother.